most powerful man in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Cortez Masto.
Thank you. Mr. Falkender, welcome. Congratulations on your nomination. Welcome to your two daughters as well. Where are you currently employed?
I am currently employed by the University of Maryland, detailed to the United States Treasury.
Detailed to the United, what does that mean?
So there is an act called the Intergovernmental Personnel Act that is often used by academics when they serve in various government positions.
And so in that detail, is that where you stated earlier, I think to one of my colleagues, that your current role is as counselor to the Secretary of Treasury?
That's correct. I am detailed to be a counselor until confirmed.
Okay. And so was it inadvertent that you did not report that on your Senate Finance Committee Statement of Information requested, the questionnaire? I didn't see it anywhere on the questionnaire. Was that inadvertent on your part?
My understanding is that the documentation I provided, both in the questionnaire and the 278E form, which is the ethics form, shows that I'm a counselor. I may have filled out the Senate questionnaire before the inauguration, and that at that time I was not yet detailed.
So when did you become detailed?
On January 21st.
So you would have filled out this questionnaire prior to January 21st?
My recollection is that I began filling it out prior to January 21st, yes.
Interesting. Okay. Let me jump from there to the topic of privacy. Section 6103 of the tax code prohibits the release of tax information by the IRS with very narrow exceptions, such as when a court order has been issued in the criminal investigation of a specific person. There have been concerning reports that you've heard earlier my colleagues talking about that members of DOGE, as well as the Department of Homeland Security, have been attempting to access databases of confidential tax and personal information held by the IRS. My question to you is, will you commit to fully following the law, even if other agencies are pushing Treasury and IRS for access to that confidential information?
Senator, I know that all employees working with DOGE are also working with the Office of General Counsel at Treasury and at the IRS, and I commit that I will follow the law.
So I'm not sure what that means by the members of DOGE, because they shouldn't have access to this information, but you will follow the law to ensure that individuals like members of DOGE and Homeland Security who should not have access to this information under the law do not have it, correct?
In everything I do, I will consult with the General Counsel to make sure that I am in compliance with the law. And
will you commit to reporting to this committee any attempt by any agency or any organization to gain access to information covered by 6103?
I will commit to following the law, and that'll include any disclosure requirements that would be that the law would have me engage in.
Okay. Mr. Falkender, on February 9th, 2024, you wrote an article for the America First Policy Institute that did an analysis of a tax bill proposed by Senator Wyden and Congressman Jason Smith. You praised a part of the bill that repealed the employee retention credit because of, and I quote, rampant cases of ineligible businesses fraudulently claiming the credit. So as you make personnel decisions at Treasury and who you're going to hire or not hire, would you have concerns about hiring someone who made money urging businesses to ignore the advice of their accountants and apply for the ERTC eligibility credit even though they weren't eligible? Would you hire somebody like that?
Senator, I would look to hire people that have gone through a full vetting and that have complied with the law. So
it doesn't matter whether or not they made money off of telling people that it was okay to apply even though they were ineligible and went after that ERTC credit?
Senator, I would commit to hiring people of high quality, who have the capability and experience to do the role, and make sure they are people of good character.
You make a lot of comments about following the law. Let me ask you this, and I appreciate that as an attorney. If, after Trump is out of office, and there's a potential investigation about whether he followed the law or not, would you comply with that investigation and continue to work with those investigators?
Senator, I'm hesitant to think about such an investigation in a hypothetical, but I will follow the ethical and legal obligations that I have if confirmed to this position.
To work with those investigators if there was an investigation?
I mean, obviously, I would seek counsel to make sure that I'm in compliance with my statutory obligations.
Okay. Let me ask you this. The Biden administration's Treasury Department implemented a new outbound investment security rule that prohibits and imposes notification requirements on certain types of high-tech investments by U.S. entities in Chinese companies. High-tech investments by U.S. entities in Chinese companies. Do you support this outbound rule, and do you support the concept of the outbound investment prohibitions?
Senator, I've received a preliminary briefing on it. I understand there are 3 sectors to which this is being evaluated. It's early in the reporting process, so conceptually it makes sense to me. I think we need to look at, are these the only 3 sectors that we want to limit ourselves to? Are there others we should do? Does the current compliance regime that was implemented make sense? My understanding is we have 3 employees at Treasury that are focused on this right now, but may need to expand it. So it's very early in the program, and so I don't want to say that exactly as it was initially structured is ideal. Instead, I'll commit to you to continue investigating it as it's going into its implementation stage, and happy to work with your office to see what improvements we can make.
I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me go over my time.
Senator Blackburn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations on your nomination. We are glad that